Welcome back to another edition of Stuff You Don't Usually See. Here we go. Another time for us to record something for a group of local radio stations, but you get to watch how we do all this stuff. So my guest today is familiar to you, Jennifer Nations, our Water Services Program Coordinator. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. You're a little extra today.
Hair's not looking good.
It's a little wind blown. Otherwise, it looks great. So you're doing this. Thank you for the month of Halloween.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that very much. And our radio listeners are not going to be able to quite have the full experience, but
right. But we're talking about something scary today.
But the viewers to stuff,
yes,
well, they can. So
yes.
You ready to do the radio thing?
I hope to scare people. I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Well, thank you and good morning. My guest today is Jennifer Nations. She is our Water Services Program Coordinator for the City of College Station. Hey, thanks for joining me.
You're welcome.
All right. So you're here to talk about something very specific, but I know you and I, when we talk about water topics, we kind of go off in different directions, but you want to talk about something called Imagine a Day Without Water?
Right.
What is that all about?
So in 2015, the Value of Water organization came together with this, they kind of envisioned this idea of what if we got Americans to imagine a day without water and just think about, what happens if you don't have water? You don't have, you can be funny about it. You can say no water, no coffee, no water, no beer. And then it becomes like no water, no fire protection, no water to wash your hair.
Yeah. What was significant about 2015? Is that just when the idea popped up?
That's just when the idea popped up, yeah.
Okay.
But, over the years, infrastructure becomes more of an issue, becomes more and more of a concern. The American Society of Civil Engineers continues to give dams and water systems and things across the country a C or a D grade because they're failing or they need to be replaced or upgraded. And so if you don't do that, then your system, may fail or the dam may fail and then you don't have water. So it was kind of a way to just like get people to stop and think, okay, you went through your entire day, you got up, you went to the gym, you took a shower, you made your coffee, you maybe made a smoothie or something, and then you drove to work and there's water in that, and then you brushed your teeth, and everything kind of grinds to a halt without water, but we don't think about it until we don't have it.
Is there an official day when you're supposed to imagine a day without water?
Yes. This year it's October 21st.
Okay.
And I noticed that last year it was October 21st as well. So perhaps it's a tradition now.
Maybe it is.
A couple of years ago, it was October 13th, but sometime in October. Why October was picked, I'm not sure, but yeah.
Okay. So we can imagine a day without water.
We can.
Because back during Winter Storm Uri, a lot of us were faced with that very situation.
Right. College Station was working really hard. I mean, Winter Storm Uri came on really fast. I mean, we knew it was going to be bad. We were kind of preparing ahead of time. I remember the Friday before, swapping phone numbers, making sure that the generators were online and making sure all the utility vehicles were fueled up. Okay, fine. And then the roads were frozen. It was hard to get gas for the generators. The electric utilities were going down. And so that kind of created the cascading effect of you can have, if you still have power, then you're still treating your wastewater treatment plants are still operating, or your wells are still running. But if you don't have power to those, and if you don't have an alternative source of power like a generator, then you're not pumping water out of the ground.
Right.
And you're not, so. And
you and I had to respond to a ton of people who didn't have water for one of a variety of reasons. And some, I guess you could say, were their fault, but a lot of it was not their fault.
Right.
And it was something we had to address for days upon days.
Yeah, the city did not go and turn off people's water. And the strange thing about that was just, I follow all the other water utilities on social media, and I find out that they're having to address the same rumors of, no, we're not shutting off your water. And no, I guess people thought because there were rolling blackouts, there would be rolling water blackouts too.
Yeah.
But we were not going out and shutting off people's water, but people still found themselves without water. Because it froze, their pipes in their house froze, or maybe their sprinkler system froze, or there was a leak or something. So even though College Station's water system did not go down, we still had a lot of people without water.
Yeah. And I know so much of what you do and the educational outreach that you perform is about conservation. And I'm guessing if somebody wants to send you into a Hulk-like rage quickly, they should have their irrigation system, like watering the concrete and things like that.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I still see it today when we're not in freezing weather. But yeah, I mean, in freezing weather, that's not only wasteful, but it's downright hazardous. I mean, then you have the creation of black ice and vehicles skidding or people slipping and falling. And no.
But even right now, even in October, not great.
No, not great. Not great. We had the issues with algal blooms, or not algal blooms, but, algae patches on the sidewalk in my own neighborhood, which I will not name. But if you know me, you know where I live. People will be running out into the street a little bit instead of on the sidewalk because there's a lot of water on the sidewalk from somebody's sprinkler system. It does not grow. We have years and years of anecdotal, not peer-reviewed evidence, but years and years of anecdotal evidence that you can water that concrete and it does not grow.
Remind me, can you get fined for irrigating improperly?
Yeah, you can. It's rare that we do it because the solution is simply to fix the problem, fix the leak, turn off your sprinkler system. But there have been a couple of times where people have been irrigating improperly, or they have a leak that they fail to fix. And so we'll start the process, work with our friends in code enforcement, and they'll get what I call a love letter saying you have, this is the problem, you have X number of days to fix it. And
like, what would trigger that? What is considered improper irrigation that would trigger something like this?
Let's say that somebody's got a leak that they know about, that we've notified them about, and they continue to let it go, and there's, it's a safety issue with algae on the sidewalk or something. We'll send them a letter and say, you've got X number, I don't remember what the number of days are to fix, but you have this number of days to fix it, or you'll be fined. And then quite often, I don't recall us having to issue a citation because you can go through all that, or you can we would much rather the people fix the leak or correct the issue, start irrigating properly.
Yeah.
And I can, if they're not sure what's going on, if they're not sure if there's, where the problem is, I'm happy to go out and walk through their sprinkler system with them and say, oh, look, here's where your leak is. Or if you switch to this type of nozzle, then it'll be more efficient and you won't be flooding your neighbors, or you won't be watering the sidewalk.
Got it. Got it. Okay, so what else do we need to know either about Imagine a Day Without Water or something else that is topical for you right now?
Well, a couple of things with Imagine a Day Without Water. Last year, the documentary Brave Blue World premiered on Netflix for, on the day of Imagine a Day Without Water. That was the day that it premiered, and I was really excited, and I've watched it, I don't know, I think 5 times since. It has Matt Damon in it.
Okay. Right. Of course.
Yeah. No. But it was really inspiring, and it's not really long. A lot of times documentaries are like gloom and doom, and it's depressing, and this is, what are we going to do? This is a documentary interviewing people all around the globe with, really tough issues, or sometimes a small issue, but a really innovative approach to it. And, it's like, here's this issue, here's this problem, here's the people that came together and found a solution, and it's positive, and, they improved the quality of life for people around them. And so it was really uplifting, and it's still on Netflix. I just checked, and you can go to braveBlueWorld. I think it's www.braveblue.world, I think is what it is.
Okay.
And then, so Water Environment Association of Texas and Texas Section American Waterworks Association are having this art contest for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. They want them to bust out their crayons and paper and just draw some pictures about why water is important to them. What do they love about water? What does it mean to imagine a day without water? The deadline for that is November 29th. And the winning pictures will be put into a calendar for next year.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so did we hit everything we needed to about Imagine a Day Without Water?
I think so, yeah. And I would just encourage people to, if you don't have Netflix, or you don't want to watch a documentary, or you don't have a student, what else can you do to imagine a day without water? Start at the source and just start learning more about your water system. Learn about where your water comes from. I'm happy to tell you about that. I will talk your ear off about that. Learn about where your water goes. Learn about water in Texas. Learn about, I can talk to you about the regional water planning process. I mean, there's a lot to learn about water, and just really sit back and think about, what would you do if you didn't have water? What would your world look like? What would a day be like?
You ready to nerd out with anybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Here for it.
So you ready for me to go to Twitter and read you some College Station water-related tweets that have come at us recently?
Yeah, they're probably mean, aren't they?
We've done this before.
Yeah.
It's been a while. And sometimes they're fun.
Yeah.
Right? Because when we track messages either about College Station or to College Station, three main themes. Okay. One is how awful the traffic is, how mean the police officers are, and how the water doesn't taste right.
Right.
Those are the three that we tend to hear from approximately 68,000 youngsters across the street from City Hall. So I've chosen three of the more recent tweets that I think you'll enjoy. Okay, you ready?
Sure.
Tweet number 1: crying because Baton Rouge water was so good and College Station water is basically acid.
Factually incorrect.
That seems harsh.
Harsh, and also our water tends to be more alkaline than acidic.
Take that, tweeter. Okay, tweet number 2. Good old College Station water. I took a bath and felt dirtier than when I got in.
Interesting. Change your soap, maybe. Our water is very soft, and so if you're used to getting out and having your skin feel really parched, our soft water is not stripping your skin of its natural oils.
Betting you're from North Texas.
Yeah.
Okay, and tweet number 3. I swear everyone in College Station is a water snob. The tap water tastes like nothing. I think that was intended as a compliment.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I think maybe they might be my new best friend.
Okay. Jennifer Nations, Water Services Program Coordinator, thank you for being with me today.
You're welcome.
And thank you guys for letting us come on and talk about the city of College Station. And Jennifer, stuff you don't usually see.
Okay.
All right. Well, you got a couple of things to cut out.
Yeah, I am so sorry.